Kids and cadets, welcome back to Tommy Time. Appreciate you coming out and checking out this crafty tiller. It's a 2-cycle tiller. I got this a while back from a scrapper. They're calling it the mini tiller. Flip, prime, and pull is what's on the label. So I've gone through the carburetor when I first got this out of my pile of junk. Gas tank was half full of water. One of the fuel lines was off, the return line. It broke right there at the tank. And the pickup line had a big crack in it. So I went through the carb, changed out the bulb. Bulb was broken and deteriorated, and I changed out the metering diaphragm. So I put it all back together, and before I put it back on the carb, I used this line to prime it in some 2-cycle gas. I wanted to make sure the primer bulb was working because I've made that mistake. Put these back on after I rebuilt them, and they don't prime, so I wasted a lot of time. So with it off the machine, I put my pickup line into the 2-cycle fuel and got it to purge. The fuel pump diaphragm, I reused that, so hopefully that was good enough. I couldn't find one readily available in my stash. This is a Zama Charlie 1 uniform. And what else? I checked spark. We got spark. I put a little 2-cycle mix in the cylinder to get rid of any of the moisture that was down in there. And I know you guys are always asking me about fuel line size. I used the inside diameter 2.5 millimeter, outside diameter 5 millimeter. So inside 2.5, outside 5 millimeter. What I've been finding lately is the 2.5 inside or the 3 millimeter inside diameter seems to be working on these small carbs and tanks. So I don't know if this thing is gear drive. The tines aren't moving. I went ahead and put oil on them. The shafts here are rusty. I oiled up the wheels, so I kind of mess with this thing today. Let me give you product numbers. I took off the high and low screws, blew out the channels, and put them both at 1.5 turns out. So where's our model numbers? This is just a weed whacker head, and they got it down here on the little tiller. I will have to change out the string if it starts. It's all worn out here where it goes through the loop. I can't sell it like that. I saw numbers here a while ago. Hold on. Other thing is the, I'll show you when I get it standing up. The Craftsman number on this 316 period 240320, assembled in Mexico. Serial number 1 Kilo 04 David Golf 1159. So this is a 2015 data manufacture, 11th month of 2015, 25cc. Sears Brands Management Corp., Hoffman Estates, Illinois. So that must have been when they were going bankrupt. Sears Brands Management Corp., when they probably got bought out. Conforms to all 2015 emissions control, blah, 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 blah. That's about all I can give you. There's some other federal ID numbers, but that's not important. So it's probably technically a 2016 if it was 11 of 15. So we got to put the plug in. Oh, it's kind of lopsided. That's shaky. So the cable was rusty. It wouldn't budge, so I gooped it up here with some lubricant, and then down here some rust buster. So it pulls, but it doesn't want to pull back. There's still rust in the cable. Oh, I just did it then. So I'll deal with that later. So 2 new lines, new filter down there. It seems like it wants to tip over, but I'm just going to move forward. I got an idea. Hold on. I'm going to move the wheels down to make it more stable. Okay, there's a cotter pin here. So I worked on one weed eater this morning. Kind of was messing around with this afternoon. So this is my first experience with this mini tiller thing. Looks kind of cheesy. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Why isn't it? Oh, okay, I see. I'm searching for the wrong hole. It might have been where it should have been anyway, or the best I can do. Sorry. This is turning into a disaster. I think I'm in the same place I started with. I thought this here was a hole all the way through, but it's not. Okay, that goes back. Okay, let's get busy. See, it wants to tip over. Let me put the plug in. I hope I got enough of the moisture out of the cylinder. I kind of did it twice. I put straight 2-cycle first and then the gas oil mix on the second time around. Okay, let's see if it pulls over. Yeah. Okay, we got compression. The keeper and the plastic chain fell off in there, so I got rid of those. I popped off the red cap and cleaned all the crap out of the center here. There's a little piece of foam I blew out. And the breather hole is right after the X. It says max ethanol 10%. There's a little breather hole right after the X. Okay, so where are we at? We're at my 40 to 1 mixture. I'll put almost all in there. Yeah, I'm covering the filter. That's plenty. Just in case this thing's a dud. So 50-50 shot on this 2015. And I check my primer bulb. I know it's going to prime. There we go. We're starting to move. Pulling up through this one, and then my return is the one closest to the engine. So I think that's good enough. Let me start pulling on it. And then we go from there. Okay, I'm going to get a little flathead screwdriver in case I have to adjust the idle. Put the filter back on that it came with. This is 40 to 1, it says right here. 1 gallon of gas to 3.2 ounces will give you your ratio. Okay, it says flip the red Houdini down, prime it. I already did. Let me get a flathead and get prepared in case we get lucky. 50-50. Okay, I got my 50 plus 9, so that's going to bring me some good luck. Okay, I'm all ready. Trip over my air hose, break my head. Okay, it's got a momentary switch, so I don't have to worry about that. It's on I for ignition. Kill it is 0 or off. It just deadens the coil. Okay, this is my throttle, so I'm not going to mess with that until it starts. Oh, well, that's good. So let me kick off the choke and try pulling it again. We might have to choke it again. Wow. If it starts, maybe I'll come down here and manually run the throttle, because it's going to drive me bananas here on the cable not returning. Are the tines turning? Yeah. That's super cool. Let me just tweak the idle up a tad so I can go to work on my high and low. Maybe I'm going to have to tip this thing up so the tines aren't chewing up my kneecaps or something. I wasn't sure how this operated with the tines, if it was gear drive. Apparently it is, because they're locked up now, so it must be on a drive shaft of some sort. There is a weep hole to fill this thing with, so it probably takes gear oil, maybe 80, 90 weight. You guys look that up for me. Probably has never been touched since 2015, but I don't see anything leaking out of the seams here. It's all dry, so hopefully the gear oil is up to snuff. Okay. Try this choky thing again, some more priming. I'm going to adjust my low screw. I'm looking for the highest RPM. So I'm turning it in counterclockwise. I'm going to back off of the idle here. It's boggy, so I'm going to go to the high side now and adjust that. I got to get it full throttle. Okay. It's not idling. I'm going to go back over to the low side and just tweak it a quarter turn open. And let's try starting it again. Shouldn't have to choke it. It's warm. Going to my low jet. Counterclockwise. RPMs are increasing. Starting to fall off, so go back a quarter turn. I might adjust the high side just a little bit more. screwdriver won't work. Let's dig up my front lawn. That was surprising. Really didn't think it was going to start with all that moisture that was in the cylinder. I guess I did a good enough job cleaning it out. Made a little trench here. It seems to be standing up better when I dug down 4 inches. So yeah, not bad for a little red turd. So that seemed to do the trick. It's probably not going to dig huge trenches. I guess for maybe weed control, this would be okay. So since it starts, my next deal will be the pull cord. Probably got to take off these 2 black cones here, or is it one piece? If it's one piece, then I'm going to have to drop the tines down and separate it. I didn't get that far, but I'm sure it's going to be a bear changing this rope out. I can just feel it. You know what I mean? If these 2 don't separate in half, then I'm going to be SOL. And it looks like it's one piece, so that's going to be uncool. Really uncool. So there's 4 bolts here at the bottom on the underside. Those 4 come off and probably the whole head pulls forward, and then you can do your job. I don't see a split in this black case at all, so that's kind of too bad. Really too bad. So all in all, that worked out. Kind of happy with how it turned out on the 2015. Started pretty easily. Let's see if it starts hot. Uh-oh. Probably don't have to choke it. I got plenty of fuel. Let's see. So yeah, you do have to flip it to start even when it's warm. Flip it to start. Okay, that's all I got for you. Appreciate you coming out, checking out this little red turd. I had Clucky here somewhere. Oh, okay, he was sleeping, that's why. But he was on guard, so I'm not going to bitch and complain. He was doing his duty from afar. You guys have a great day. Appreciate you coming out. Please tip your waitress and wait staff. Adios, amigos.